Auzubillahi Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is part 3 of Teaching with All Dimensions of Learning. We had been discussing the first dimension, attitudes and perception, and we had covered one point from classroom climate, and then we'll inshallah continue. Okay, the second thing that we need to do is ensure comfort and order. And for this, we need to involve students in classroom decisions. Whenever possible, we should give the children choices. They should be able to have a say in whatever transpires in the class. Sometimes they can choose topics, they can give suggestions of decorating the class, where should we put the rules, where should we have the display for this particular subject, etc. So if we involve the children in a decision making and they feel autonomy in the class, they will participate more, they will be more willing to come to your class and enjoy and have fun. Whenever possible, we should use humor. Humor brings smile on the face, has a positive impact on the emotions of the children, so therefore whenever possible, humor should be welcomed and humor should be created. Maintain a positive affective tone. The way you talk to the children, the way you call their names, the way you invite them for participation in the classroom, the way you assign different tasks, your tone should be emotionally encouraging. So you should be conscious of this, that you have to use a positive affective tone. Another important point in order to create comfort and order is to have set routines. Although I would say that you should not be monotonous, but there should be some system or routine of doing work in your room. For example, if the children have to submit their homework, what should they do? Where should the homework be kept? And what is the routine for collecting homework? If you want to collect the classwork right after your class ends, what is the procedure? Will the children get up from their seats and come and give it to you? Or will they pass in their particular rows to the person who is sitting in the front, and then it will be gathered by these 5 or 6 children in the front to one side of the room, and you will be able to take the things from there. So there has to be some routine. Where are the supplies? Where is the ink? If the child needs ink during the class, what is the procedure? How will the child ask for permission? Is the child allowed to get up from the seat and go and fill ink, or whatever the procedure is? That procedure should be known. So the routines, the things that have to happen every other day, the procedure for that should be set and known. Then rules for different things, different activities that are going to be held, they should be shared with the children. The classroom rules should be displayed, should be made with the children, and then they should be clearly displayed in the room. And the teacher herself should not forget. Mostly what happens is that at the start of the session, beautiful rules are made, and the teacher is very conscious about practicing those rules in the class. But after some time, in the rut of routine, when there is pressure of the syllabus and the topics that she needs to cover, she or he tends to forget what the rules are. And then rules are broken, not by the children, by the teacher. And of course, then the whole exercise of setting the rules becomes futile if we forget. So it is important that we set the rules and they are displayed, they are shared with the children. All the children understand the meaning of each and every rule that you have put up on the wall. And they should be practiced consciously. Then provide clear guidelines for acceptable behavior. What is the expectation from the children? You should not think that because they are in this class, so they should know how they need to behave in the class. Nobody should think like that. As a teacher, it's your job to give guidance. So give proper guidance. Children should know what is acceptable in the class and what is not acceptable. Are they allowed to chew chewing gum in the class? Are they allowed to get up from their seats without permission? Whatever can happen, you should give guidelines about that. Children should know that this is acceptable and this is unacceptable. When they know what is acceptable and non-acceptable, they are more comfortable in the class. Now we come to classroom tasks. Now how do we make the tasks valuable and clear to the children and help them to reach and access all the resources that are required? Tasks should be perceived as relevant. The children should feel that whatever tasks are given in the class, they are relevant to their life. These tasks will help them to develop and grow, and these tasks will develop and nurture their skills, which will be helpful for them in daily life. So they should be linked with daily life. Then link tasks to students' interests. All the tasks cannot be of everyone's interest. But if the teacher gathers information about the things that the children are interested in, then he or she can plan activities in such a way that some activities are of interest to this group of children and others are of interest to this group of children. So everybody gets a chance to do an activity or be involved in an activity which is directly interesting for them. Then capitalize on students' natural curiosity. All the children are curious. They ask questions. They want to learn. They want to know new things. Their curiosity is killed when the teachers do not capitalize on their curiosity. If the children ask questions, let them ask questions. There is a very good activity which and very interesting also, that you make a parking lot on one of your softboard and let the children put up their questions in that section. So their questions are parked in that parking lot, and the teacher on her discretion will take out some of the questions from there and try to incorporate the answers of those questions in her lesson. So that's how everybody's questions will be addressed, and you will have time to answer their questions, and they know that they can ask questions. Then the next is task clarity. We should provide models of complete tasks and rubrics. This also is extremely useful for the children, that whatever task is given, you show them a model, that what will it look like when the task is complete. So you show them the models. These models can be gathered over the years, batch after batch. So you can store best models of the children's work, or you can create your own models and show those models to the children. Rubrics should be created for every task so that the children know what is the standard that they need to reach. Resources, provide proper material and time, and teach needed skills thoroughly. Whatever resources required should be provided to the children, or they should shown the way. How can they access the information? Which website should they visit? Which book in the library will help them to have that particular required information? What resource do we have in the class that will help the child to clarify misconceptions or look for a particular information? And if a particular skill is required, for example, you have given them some task where they have to draw an angle. So if they have never used a protractor before, so they will not be able to make that angle properly. So whatever skill is required, whatever skill is needed for a particular task, that skill should be taught, and then the task should be given to the children. Children need to see themselves as capable of doing a particular task. When the task is given, they should feel that, yes, I can do it. This is called self-efficacy, their own perception, that whether their own belief that whether they have the capability of performing that task or not. So the factors that influence self-efficacy, there are 4 factors that influence people's beliefs about their capability to perform, which are past performance. If the child has been successful in a particular subject and has achieved good grades in the past, that is going to have a positive impact on their self-efficacy. But if they have been failing constantly, and if in all their previous tests they could not achieve good grades, then they will feel that I'm not capable of achieving good grades in this particular subject. So when you are preparing the test, you should be careful that children should have a feeling of achievement. You prepare them well, you explain things well, you give them time to memorize plus practice effectively so that they will not fail in the test. And then modeling. If they see that other people have not been successful, if their elder brother has not been successful, if their best friend has not been successful in doing a certain thing, that too will have an impact on their own self-efficacy. So do not create a situation where a child stands up and says something and is humiliated or is insulted, or he fails in front of everybody and everybody makes fun of them. Never let that happen in the class, so that there is no poor model that the children that can have a negative impact on their self-efficacy. Verbal persuasion, the way you talk to the children, that is going to have an impact. This task will be easy once I explain everything. Once you know all the steps, you will be able to do it. You can do it. That message should go from the teacher. So your verbal persuasion is also going to have a positive impact on their self-efficacy. Last is the psychological state and the physiological state as well. If they have butterflies in the stomach, if their hands are shaking, and if they are worried and anxious, that is also going to have an impact on their self-efficacy. So ensure that they feel comfortable, they are relaxed, and they are not afraid of the thing that they have to do.